Hello and welcome to the fifth installment of the intro sovereign body language introduction. We have 6 classes planned, but today I have a big announcement for you. So what's happening? I've been thinking, that's always dangerous when people are thinking. So I was invited to participate in an interview sometime next month. And then I was thinking about the start of the classes, the full classes, and it's set for January 15th. And is that really a smart thing for me to do? Because I have a conference at the beginning of March that I'm going to, and I can also book different interviews January and February and maybe get some more people into classes. So after thinking and pondering about this, I decided that the full classes will start March 19th. And what we're going to do until then is we're going to continue these free weekly classes, but they're going to be a little bit different. They're not going to be manuals anymore. We're still going to be using the first 6 manuals that I created for you guys, or that, you'll get one more in January. But the first 6 manuals, you're going to be using those. And we're going to be analyzing video clips and photos. We can do face reading on one of you guys, or posture reading on a photo. We can do analysis of a photo where a group of people are sitting together and see how they feel about each other. So from now until March 19th, every Thursday at this time, we're going to be meeting and doing exercises in psychosomatic therapy. And then on March 19th, for real this time, we'll start the full classes with the base chakra and go through all the chakras. What do you guys think?
Awesome.
Yeah, it sounds really cool.
Anybody in? Everybody in? So that way we'll just have more. Like, I want to get in a habit of doing this every Thursday, because I want to be like, I really want to be dedicating Thursdays to my teaching. And so every single Thursday, I want to provide that value to you guys. But then throughout the year, we're all going to get into a habit of showing up every Thursday. And yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be so much fun. Awesome. So today, JL, you're at your computer, are you? Can I make you co-host in case somebody shows up at the door, and to let them in? Because I know Noelle's running after a toddler.
Yes, please. I will do it.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Noelle is running after a baby, so.
I've never done it before. What do I need to do?
Just like if somebody shows up at the door, just let them in.
Okay.
Because if I'm like looking at the thing or like into my talk, I might not notice and let them sit there, and I don't want to be mean. Like, I usually click on it if I see it anyway, but just in case, you're like a backup.
I got you.
Yes. Okay, where's your guys' manual? And there you are. Everybody receives a manual. Yay. So what are we talking? Today is a really, I see that door. I got that door, JL, this time. Oh, and now I have to send a manual again because he's not gonna see it. Okay, one more time. One more time. Welcome, Michael. We're just starting the lecture. I just did a big announcement. You're gonna have to see the replay to find out what the big announcement was, though. So maybe I'll repeat it at the end, seeing as there's a couple of people coming in. All right. So today we're going to be talking about chakras and what do these chakras do. So last week we started with postures and we kind of touched on the chakras. Do you guys remember the common body shapes that report from Carol? Did everybody get that? Hi, Jill.
Hello.
Hi, Michael.
This is Mike now. Jill.
Hi, sorry. Hi, I was trying to find the button.
It's all good. So do you guys need me to drop the common body shapes report in the chat just in case? We might be referring to it a little bit today. It was basically like a level 1 of what we're covering today. So we touched on all the different chakras and how it can show up in the body in terms of, you know, excess flesh or inadequate flesh, or maybe even a hollow or some kind of a armoring. You know, there's different things that can, even the texture of your skin. Actually, do this. This is an exercise for you guys today. Touch the front of your arm here, and then touch the back of your arm. Is it the same skin? Some people have different feeling of skin in front of their arm and in the back of their arm. And, you know, that has to do with the chakras and the front and the back of the body. I'm going to show you in just a sec. So yes, so the chakra system is a vertical map of consciousness. Vertical, why did I say vertical? Because it's up and down, right? We have chakras that go all the way to the bottom, and chakras that are actually above our head. And then we have chakras in our hands, in our face. We have a chakra in the back of our head that looks back. So all your moms out there, or even non-moms, everybody, you know, when people say, do you have eyes in the back of your head? You do have eyes in the back of your head. You have a chakra that's right here that's looking backwards. It's sitting right on top of your Akashic records. And this chakra has to do with the past, or how you process things that happen to you, all the things that you're leaving behind. And along the same lines, the texture of the skin in front of your arm and the texture of the skin in the back of your arm show how you're facing the world and what you're putting behind. I want to keep on track, so I'm looking at the manual. Okay, so what are the chakras? Does anybody know what are the chakras? What are chakras?
They're like different energy centers in the body, right?
What does it mean it's an energy center? Like what kind of energy?
Like your chi, your life force energy.
Mm-hmm. So I was wondering, I was looking it up earlier, what are chakras made out of? Because I used to a long time ago think that they were made out of ether. But in reality, ether is just one of the elements, just like air, fire, whatever. And the chakras are made out of electromagnetic energy. So what happens is when your spirit inhabits the body, it basically like plugs it in, electromagnetizes your body. And so you become alive, right? And if your spirit leaves the body, like say you get knocked unconscious and there is no, I don't know if the spirit leaves the body there, but people have like near-death experiences, spirit leaves the body is lifeless. It has no electromagnetic energy in it. The aura and all of the energy that is you is with the spirit, not with the body. The body is just a vehicle. So it's like a car that you're driving on this earth, but your actual essence is not the car, is outside of the car or inhabiting the car. So with electromagnetism, and I know that's not talked very much in the mainstream, but electromagnetism is something that you can, for example, you can rub your hands really, really fast, and then you can feel the energy between them. Can you do that? Do you want to try that? Come on, everybody. Rub your hands really, really fast, and then feel the energy between them. See, this is your electromagnetic energy that's been charged up by the act of rubbing, and so that you can feel it more. But some people, many people can feel the chakra where you begin, where your energy field starts and where it ends. Some people have really large chakras that take up a room or a whole city block. Apparently, Jesus had a chakra that was the size of a city block. Other people have really, really tight chakras. Maybe people who are depressed, sad, maybe people who don't feel like they're in their power. They might have really, really close to their body chakras, almost trying to hide so nobody notices them. And other people have expansive chakras. They reached out far into the world. They want to mingle their energy with other humans, affect them, influence them, you know, create change, positive change. I know, I guess it's up to on debate if really, really happy people who have bad intentions have huge chakras or little chakras. I've never heard of this. This just occurred to me this second. We can talk about it. but I don't know. I think it's the positive energy that expands and the negative energy that shrinks, right? So somebody who is angry or mean or whatever would be shrinking, and somebody who's loving and caring would be expanding. So, but that's just my opinion. There's no proof. Don't quote me on it. Do your own research. Yes, we already talked about this. So in chapter 2, the body chakra connection, I'm kind of referring back to the pictures that we saw in the common body shapes manual or report. I think it's called a report. So in that report, we saw different examples of different energy patterns that can happen in the human body. And then now what we're doing is we're overlaying our understanding of the different chakras over top of it. And I have to show you guys. Oh, first, let me just mention that. So chakras, okay. So your actual auric body is an electromagnetic egg. Let's put it that way. It's got an energy and it's separate from your body, but inhabits the same location, physical location as your body, because it's part of your body, but it's separate from your body. It's in your body, but it is not your body. And all of those centers are connected with the meridians or the nadis. So in the book, I'm mentioning the nadis because that's how Carol taught it. But I think that the meridians is just like a Chinese nomenclature versus the Indian nomenclature with the nadis. But in the yogic tradition, there are thousands of nadis all throughout your body, connecting all of your chakras together. And so let me just show you this picture. Hang on. Where's the share screen button? Wait, what do you see? No, you see the wrong screen. Oh my goodness. This one. Okay. So you see here, so we have how the energy flows through the body. So we have one channel going down and one channel going up. And the reason why these channels are drawn in yellow and blue will become apparent very soon. And those are all of your chakras in line. So the right channel is Pingala and the left channel is Ida. One's going one up, one going down, or maybe they're both mingling together like the DNA. Like it doesn't have to be necessarily like it is on this picture where there's two channels, like two rivers next to each other. I think it's more like the DNA when they're spiraling into each other, but maybe not mingling. And then I wanted to show you this picture. Let me make it smaller. Okay, we're going to have to look at it part at a time. So from the bottom up, this is all the chakras in your body from the bottom up. We're going to go over them really quickly, and then I'm going to show you some more details about it. So here we have the Earth Star chakra. This is the place where your silver cord. So there's basically when you inhabit a body, when you become incarnated, when you come onto this earth as a baby in your mother's womb, or maybe when you take the first breath, there's some evidence that the person actually inhabits a body when they take the first breath, that's the actual moment of the soul coming down, which seems really weird to think that the baby in the mother's womb moving and, making facial expressions and stuff does not have a soul in it. And I've had trouble with that, but, I'm here to share the information with you and for you to take that information and understand it in your own way and really dive deep into what you believe, not necessarily what other people believe, because we're all independent researchers. But as far as I know, this is where the silver cord is attached, that attaches you to the earth. And when that silver cord is severed, you experience a death and your body or your soul returns back upstairs to where you came from, to your soul family or whatever. So as long as you have this Earth Star chakra that's active and connected, you're still alive. And then we have the 7 body chakras, which is the base. Is everybody in this room familiar with the 7 chakras? Who here hasn't known nothing about the 7 chakras? Who here knows medium amount of stuff about the 7 chakras? Okay, everybody's an expert on chakras. All right. And I don't have to go into too much detail on the basics. Is that true? All right. So we have the 7 chakras that are in our body. We're going to go deeper into what they do and how they do it in a moment. And then we also have these other chakras that are above our head. So here you see the crown chakra, which is at the very top of your head. And that's where the golden cord that connects you to the divine comes out of your body. And then it goes all the way to this divine gateway chakra where it's connected to your soul. So essentially, that's how your soul upstairs allows a little bit drop or a little bit of energy to come down all the way down to the bottom to where you are on the ground, on the earth, and intermingle with the silver cord of the earth in order to make you an alive human being. So there we have the 12 chakras. And so here's a little bit of a paragraph about what I've already said, the main 7 chakras, the Earthster chakra, and then the higher chakras above the head. Here we have another image of the chakras, but this one has the colors in it. Now each chakra has a specific color, and that's one of the ways you can strengthen that chakra is by wearing or observing or interacting with things that are that color. So for example, they have a chakra bath bomb where the bath fills with some kind of dye, hopefully natural, that turns the bath color into one of those chakra colors. And so, and these are, you will notice the same colors as the rainbow. So then we have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and purple, right? Am I saying this right? We'll see in a minute if I have it right, because it's all written right here in my manual. Okay, so here we have the first chakra. What's it responsible for? The vital life force, survival, security, mobility, grounding. Because grounding, this is the bottom, the first chakra inside your body that connects to the Earth Star chakra, which is below your body, like where you're anchoring into the ground. Well, not anchoring into the ground, anchoring into Mother Earth. Because as you move around, of course, your Earth Star chakra follows you around. It's not static. Or maybe it is in the center of the earth. But you're still connected to it wherever you are. So which body, so for each chakra, I've written for you guys which body areas it's responsible for. So we all, of course, know that buttocks, thighs, and calves are part of the base chakra. But did you know that in the hands is the large mound at the base of the thumb? In the feet is the inside of the heel. In the face is the jaw and chin, and including this part here, where the bone goes up, is actually solar plexus. But we'll talk about that in the face reading class more. So jaw and chin, inside heels, large mound, and then also in the inside your body, there are certain organs and areas that are governed by the base chakra. So that'll be the pelvic plexus, the coccyx, the perineum, and the kidneys. If you think about it on the picture, the outside, it's kind of hard to see in this picture, actually. But the base chakra is the outside of the leg, and the inside and the genitals are actually sacral chakra, because you know the womb and mingles, water of creations, and all of that. So all of that is sacral chakra. So even though the base chakra is located at the base of your sitting bones, essentially, like right around there, the reproductive system is governed by the sacral chakra and not by the base chakra. It's more like your hips and your buttocks that are governed by the base chakra. Any questions so far about the chakras? Doing good? All right. I don't see anybody unmuting, so I guess that's all good. Okay, so then we go to the second chakra, which is the one right above where the reproductive systems are, your belly button, all of that waters of creation stuff, that's the second chakra. So some people call it the sacral, some call it the spleen chakra, but it's really in that area around the belly button. Hang on, I got to turn on my fan. 1 second. Be right back. Back. It's very hard. And so with the sacral chakra, sacral, sacred, procreation. And it doesn't mean procreation as a children, it does, but it also means procreation as an ideas, sharing what's your creative stuff with the world, whatever creative stuff, you do. So body map areas of the sacral chakra, we have lips, outer heels, mound at the base of the palm under the little finger. So the opposite of in the hand, it's the opposite of the base chakra. So this would be the sacral chakra on this side. Body, we have pelvic region that we showed you that's a moment ago, inside of the legs to the knees and the forearms, but not the elbow, because the elbow is solar plexus. So just this part between the elbow and the wrist. And then in the hand, it starts all chakras again. And then the organs, glands, nervous system, we have the hypogastric plexus, but not the stomach, genitals, ovaries, gonads, urinary tract, bowels, and the lower intestine. So it does affect the digestive system, but it's not the stomach and not the fire, because this is water. If you think about it, the first chakra, I guess I should have gone over this on the right-hand side. Location, perineum, so right on the sitting bones, of the edge of the bones underneath where you sit on the ground. Color red, sense of smell. So each chakra is associated with a specific sense. And then because this is vital, life force, survival, security, we have the sense of smell that can warn you of danger. We have the element of earth and instinct, survival, security, and the mantra sound. So if you're doing any chanting or affirmations, you can do a mantra sound, do, and that will affect the base chakra. And then when we go to sacral chakra, location, genitals, color orange, sense of taste. So if you think about it, the mouth is the other womb in your body where the creativity happens, where you can create words, that affect the whole world. And then element water, inside the mouth is wet, inside the uterus is wet. We have waters of creation. A man deposits water in a woman's womb in order to make a baby. And emotion, so water is emotion. So anywhere in the body, when you guys see emotion, like if there's a swelling or something like that, anywhere in the body you see emotion, that is watery. So yeah, so it doesn't have to be crying from the eyes. It could be a swelling on your elbow, or it could be, and that would be like elbow is governed by solar plexus, but a swollen elbow is an obstruction or a blockage in the elbow, in the solar plexus energy. And because it's water, because it's swelling, it's an emotional obstruction. And that brings us, and then the mantra sound today. And that brings us to solar plexus. Solar plexus is fire. So now the fire in your stomach, think about the digestive juices and all of that. That's the fire in your stomach. The sense of sight, right? But not the eyes, because that's heart. Element fire, power, control, freedom to be oneself. So standing comfortably in your power and being yourself. How you stand up in the world, how you meet the world. If you're really pushing your solar plexus out, you might be meeting the world with your nose. But if you're really centered and anchored in your body, you're meeting the world with your chest, with your heart, not with your nose, which is a heart chakra, not the solar plexus ego, which is this one we're just about to talk about. Compassion, worthiness, commitment, balance, and self-love. So in the face, it's the eyes. I mentioned that, and part of the cheek, depending on the quality of the cheek. If the cheek is very fleshy, we talked about this in the face reading class 2 weeks ago, remember? If the cheek is super fleshy and boob-like, very nice, and then it's heart chakra. But if the cheek is chiseled and slim, then it's governed by the solar plexus chakra. So the cheeks can vary. The ball of the foot, the mounds on the base of the fingers, upper arm, so between the elbow and the shoulder, up this part of your arm, and cardiac plexus, obviously the heart, right? Thymus gland, which is the high heart here, that's the seat of your inner child. Actually, the thymus gland is a separate chakra. So when we have, hang on, let me soapbox for a second. So when we have the 7 major chakras, we also have some minor chakras, like the one I mentioned at the back of the head. The other minor chakras are in the center of the hands and in the center of the feet, the Jesus spots. Those are minor chakras. These are very useful chakras because they can be used to pump out or pump in energy into the body. So you can control how these chakras spin and how you're taking in or releasing things from your body with these chakras. With feet chakras are especially important because in our society, we don't, sorry, in our society, we don't walk around barefoot enough. We don't walk on the ground, on the grass, barefoot. We're always wearing plastic shoes with rubber soles. So it's really hard for the foot chakras to release the extra energy. And that would mean the free radicals, that would mean emotional energy, that would mean any kind of like etheric energy that you might have picked up from entities or energies or arguments or static energy that's inside you because you're really pissed off because that guy cut you off and you can't forgive him, even though you've tried to imagine that he was running to the hospital to see his dying mother. It still didn't make you feel better. So there's that static, pissy energy. All of that can be let go through your feet and really processed out of the body. And so it's really important. And for some reason, it's really important for the men in our society because the women are better at releasing emotions. They can cry, they can scream, they're allowed to do things. But men in our society are very uptight and they're taught to be, like a rock. You don't make any noise, you don't make faces, you don't scream, and that's why so often men might fall into violence because they are not comfortable expressing or releasing their emotions. They're not encouraged to cry. They're not encouraged to be spazzes. And that can cause all sorts of energetic blockages and even diseases inside the body. Any questions so far? Oh, and the high heart. Sorry, before you guys go, the high heart. So it's the point halfway between your heart and your throat chakra. So this is my throat chakra. And this is my heart chakra underneath my shirt. And then halfway here, we have a little protruding bone. That is the high heart or the thymus. And that's exactly where your inner child is. Now, you guys know about tapping and emotional freedom technique. They tap this high heart spot, the inner child. And so what you can do is even if you don't know the emotional freedom technique, and even if you don't do it, if you're feeling stressed or pressured, you can just tap this spot on your chest. If you're feeling a panic attack, if you need your mom, even if you're 80 years old and your mom is long gone, if you need your mom, you can tap this point and it'll be soothing to you. It's also what a mother does at the back of a baby. Like, if I were to hold a physical baby and I was trying to calm it down, I would be tapping just this way on the back of the baby's heart chakra, right? That's what we do. So do that to yourself. Be your own baby. Okay, now any questions for real? Anybody out there?
I'm here.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hi. No questions though, eh?
This is good stuff. I sent you a message earlier today about somebody having some pain in a particular part of their body, right? I sent that to them, or I guess this was yesterday, right?
I don't know if I saw that.
Well, you responded, and I took what you responded and I sent it to them.
Oh, okay, that one. Okay, okay. I thought it
And
was a
then
new one.
and then they responded back to me and they said, and this is kind of unique because I had originally initiated the conversation where I was writing down a conversation or message that I was going to send you like a couple of days ago, but then the power went out and that message just went into oblivion. And so then I had to rewrite the thing. But he basically related to me that pain stopped happening at that particular time. When I first initiate was writing down the message that I was going to send to you. So I don't know if that has anything to do with this, but I do feel like it's like our mutual energy somehow connected. I don't know.
That's absolutely possible because with the aura that we have in our body and all the higher chakras, the uppermost chakra, it connects to the divine, right? So in that way, we are all connected on the upstairs. And sometimes when you have a conflict with somebody downstairs, you can talk to their upstairs and you can explain why you're hurt and what's going on and all of these things and how you're feeling in your heart. And maybe if the person downstairs, the person incarnated on the earth, is not ready to hear you out, it's closing your ears to you, maybe you can go upstairs and they can actually relate back to you what what to do, how to worry about it through your inner tutor, intuition, inner tutor.
Yeah. Well, what you explained to me, I relayed that to him, and he basically said that's that's exactly what was going on. He had I'm not going to explain the personal details, but nevertheless, it was very accurate what you said.
Nice. Yeah, that's what happened. Okay, we got a couple more chakras to go through before we go to the full-on Q&A thing. I really need to cut my hair, you guys. Okay, let me see here. All right, so we're back in this document. So we have the heart chakra, we went over this, and mantra sound is fa. So not only does it match up with the rainbow, but also matches up with the notes. See how magical? It's all connected. Everything is all the same. I'm telling you guys. Okay, so then we have the throat chakra. The throat chakra and the hands are your avenues of expression. So this is how you can communicate with the outside world. And if you have no voice and no hands, it's very hard to communicate. You can use other parts of your body, like your eyes, your shoulders, but it's a lot harder to communicate with others than when you have your voice and your hands. And if you think about the throat, I have to stop sharing for a second just to show you. So if you think about the throat chakra, right, it governs this part here, but it also governs all the way up to the shoulder, right? So it's here. I'll show you on the picture. One sec. Where's the picture? So it doesn't go quite to the shoulders, but it goes almost to the shoulders. And then your hands are your other avenues of expression, because they're the ones where you can actually communicate with doing versus your mouth is communicating with speaking. And so, right, so throat chakra. So we have here all of the information about the throat chakra. So the face is the eyebrows. Now you think about how people can communicate with just their eyebrows. If you didn't have the voice and the shoulder or and the arms or whatever, eyebrows would be another avenue of communication. And that's why if you have very, very pale eyebrows or they're invisible, it's a good idea to paint them in, draw them in, make sure you have nice eyebrows for when you have a very important presentation, an interview, or a conversation with other people where you really want to be heard, because the eyebrows can really make a huge difference in how people perceive you and how people receive your message, your thing. And then in the hands, it's the third digit below the knuckles. So it's the base of the fingers. It's yeah, right at the base. And then body, neck, of course, and a little bit of the shoulders. And then organs, glands, and nervous systems. So it's carotid plexus. So it's like the high heart, but it's not. It's higher up. Larynx, thyroid, respiratory system, bronchial, and vocal apparatus. Now, the carotid plexus is often listed as both governed by the heart and the throat, and that is very possible that a lot of these organs can be co-joined, like in different traditions, like Chinese versus Indian or whatever. Some of the chakra information can be overlapping, or so just take it with a grain of salt and really think about what your own opinion is, how you feel, how it feels to you, what's the truth. Because, people have been arguing about these details for thousands of years, but in reality, the base information is true. And if we allow ourselves to be worried about the minor details, then we're never going to get to the truth, right? So just understand that there's some confusion or some dispute about this, and continue observing the world and people around you so you can learn from evidence as opposed to information. Okay, and then we have color blue, sound, sense of sound, because, la, 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 throat chakra, and ether and speech, self-expression, and then soul. And then we come to the third chakra, the brow. It's the third eye, right in between and above the two. You've often seen that in ancient paintings, the third eye. And so the third eye is in the brow bone. It's also in the pads of the toes. So each pad, the second digit above the knuckles. So not this one right above, but this one, because we have 3 sections in each finger, right? And pituitary gland, autonomic nervous system, and lower brain. So again, pituitary versus pineal, which one is governed by the crown, which one is governed by the third eye? That is, again, one of those ancient disputes. So I am including both, and, you figure it out. Somebody figure it out, because maybe it's both. Maybe both the chakras affect the pineal and the pituitary. Maybe they share that, or maybe it's one or the other, but in different sources, it says something different. So I want to make sure that I honor all of them. And because, otherwise we're buying into one story versus another story. And then like this way we can examine with knowledge and understanding and say, okay, people think this and this, let's observe, as opposed to going, no, these people are wrong. This is right. I don't know if this is right. I don't know if this is wrong. We have to find out. We all have to find out what's right and what's wrong for us, and really examine all of the opinions and all of the sources in order to have full understanding of the world. By taking sides, you'll never have full understanding, right? So then we have the top of the head, the crown chakra, which is right at the top. It's that place that's still open when you're a baby and then closes slowly as you grow. And in the face, it's in the same location as on the body, like right here in the hairline or at the top of the head, governing the top of the head, like one of those Jewish hats. Yarmulka, that's what it's called. And in the hands is the top section of each finger. And organs, glands, that's central nervous system, the cranial plexus, upper brain, brainstem, also possibly pineal gland, and location above the crown on the head. And color, violet or golden. Now, I told you about the golden cord that connects you to the upstairs version of you, to the godlike aspect of who you really are. That's why it's golden, because the golden is also the color of your aura, like the base color of your aura. And if you think about it, the word aura, A-U-R-A, the word for gold or the element of gold is A-U. So aura even has gold in it as part of the word. Element is atomic, and then function is the individual and universal consciousness. And mantra sound is T. Now here's another version. I know I included all the pictures. So here we have just like a short version. You can print it, or you can study this picture, and it has like a very succinct way of explaining each chakra. But I have that's not the only. I have so many chakra pictures in this chakra manual. You guys will be amazed. No, that was. I think there's one more. Oh no, there are two more. Oh, okay. No, hang on. Let me just show you the other one, and then I'll go back to this. So here we have, this is still the chakras, and it's affirmations to strengthen the chakra. So if you, through these classes, determine that, oh no, I have, there's too much weakness in my heart, or there's this, or there's that, these mantras or affirmations will allow you to reconnect with that part of you and maybe help you strengthen it. And we'll be talking, now that we have these extra intro sessions, we'll be talking about how to strengthen different chakras more throughout January and February. But I included this for you guys. And then here's also a shortcut, right? These are really short affirmations for each of the chakras. And again, you can take this picture, you can print it, you can carry it around in your wallet, and you can, work with it. Okay, so going back to this very important section I skipped. Okay, so chakras aren't all of that. It's not all of it. There's more to do than just chakras. What we have is, like, when we're looking at a body, we're going to look at something like a imbalance, or, you know what, I'm going to stop sharing because this is not necessary. There's no pictures yet. When there's a picture, I'll show you guys. So when we're looking at a body, we look at an imbalance, or something missing, or too much of something, or an armoring or something, or a hollow. We're looking at it throughout different chakras, but there's other considerations. Left, right is a consideration, whether it's on the masculine or the feminine, or front, back is a consideration. So front would be everything in front of you, where you're going, how you're moving forward, and back would be things that you're putting behind you. So say you have a problem with your back shoulder blade, that's something that happened in the past, and you're putting things behind you. So it's an issue with a past thing. And when you have, when you're having a problem with like the tip of your nose, that's something that's coming in front. That's an issue with stepping towards the future, right? So that's the front. And then right, and I know it seems really basic, but if you start reading bodies on this basis, it totally makes sense. Just like what Mike said about his friend. He asked me that question a few days ago. So much has been happening that I didn't even remember. But apparently I gave a really good answer, because the guy was like, wow, that's exactly, So, and that's what happens. But you have to understand and analyze every aspect of the body. So the front versus back, right versus left. So right is masculine. Now we've talked about this in earlier. Oh, look, there was a small dog running by. We talked about it in the earlier sessions, where we talked about how the brain connects left, right, and right, left. So that means that the left side of your brain is connected to your right side of your body, and the right side of your brain is connected to the left side of your body, because it crisscrosses as it attaches to the body, right? And so the left side of your brain is the masculine, and therefore the right side of your body is masculine, analytical, right? And then the left side of right side of your brain is the creative side, the right side of the brain, people, right? And that's your feminine, the receiving, the feeling, the experiential. This is the action side. The masculine is the action side. The feminine is the being side, the receiving side. So what else did I write about it? I'm going to share because I'm looking at a picture now. So right side of the body is left hemisphere. It's a rational mind, the objective, the masculine aspect, conscious, creative, physical, and the spirit, right? The left side of the body is the right hemisphere, irrational mind. So this is the rational mind, and this is the irrational mind. So the original meaning of irrational means knowledge gained through physical senses instead of through rational thought processes. So think about how were controlled again, and how they're changing the meaning of the word is, if irrational didn't mean crazy, asylum worthy, but it meant knowledge gained through physical senses, as opposed to learning from not from upstairs, from a hierarchy, from the priests, the teachers, the doctors, the lawyers, the people that control us or that try to control us. And then it's also the feminine aspect, the unconscious, the creative, and spiritual. So here we have the body. And then we have the marriage. This is two married people inside you. That's why I put wedding rings there. So if you want to become someone with really true magical presence, you need to connect and basically give counseling to the inner female and the inner male, so they work together. So here we have another feminine and masculine image. So feminine is being, right? So all the things that are being are associated with the feminine, and the masculine is doing, and all the things that are in the realm of doing, right? So the doing would be sun, light, yang, fire, the right side of the human body, active, outward, linear, giving, freedom, direction, stable, strong, willpower, driven, independent, disciplined, structured, protective, analytical, planning, confident, assertive, focused, certain, and courage. So those are aspects or elements of the masculine. But every person has both the masculine and the feminine. And the whole point is to make them get along and have a happy marriage and not fight among each other, because that can cause all sorts of imbalance in the face, the body, and everywhere. And the feminine being is moon, dark, yin, water, the left side of the human body, passive, inward, circular, intuitive, free-flowing, empathy, sensual, sharing, receiving, nurturing, creative, patient, sensitive, manifestation, ease, kindness, emotional, unconditional love, and surrender. And then at the bottom of this little image, you can see what happens when each of these chakras is out of balance. So when the masculine is out of balance, that would show up as criticism, aggression, competitive, unstable, abuse of power, unsupportive, and confrontational. And when the feminine side is out of balance, that would show up as neediness, powerlessness, codependency, withholding, oversensitivity, over-emotionality. So yes, women are emotional, but everybody's got that 50% of the feminine inside, right? And is being unemotional better than being emotional? I mean, they're two sides of the same coin. Let's, see where we can balance. Lack of direction and inconsistency. We have the affirmations. I want to see if there's any other images that I included there below. So I already talked about this. And then the last chapter is how it behooves you to start a revolution. Look, there you go. Start a revolution. But yes, so every one of those things, front, back, balance, how much, like in the face, we look at the three different zones, the mental zone, the emotional zone, the physical zone, how much energy is in each one of these zones, up and down, how much energy is in the right versus the left. Is one of my cheeks smaller or bigger? Maybe one of them is smaller. What if I go really straight to the camera? Okay. Is one of my eyes smaller or bigger? Is one of my cheeks smaller and bigger? Is one of my nostrils smaller? Right? And so what we're looking for is the balance. So finding out where you are out of balance and bringing up that balance. And just like we said last week, you are the catalyst for change in this world. The reason you're in this class is because you are here to awaken many others and create those connections for other people, so they don't have to be slaves and they don't have to be, what's the word? Trapped in all of this programming, but you can open the door for them and you can allow them to really live and breathe inside their own body in freedom, no matter what's going on around them on the outside. And that concludes my lecture. You may speak.
That was awesome. I didn't know like the chakra like microcosm on the hands and feet, so that was really enlightening. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, there's a whole like in psychosomatic therapy, we have a whole thing about hands. Like there's so much information about the hands. And then if you cut yourself in one finger, what does it mean? Is it the right or the left? Is it, up and down? There's all of that has meaning. Like I'm teaching you guys in these free classes, I'm teaching you like basically the very, very surface of what I know. There's so much more we can go into. And even with the body, when we go through the chakras deeply, we're going to go through the chakras a lot more deeper throughout when the actual classes start in March now. Okay, so just to repeat the announcement from the beginning, because I know a couple of people weren't here yet, Jill and Michael. What I've decided to do, because I've had some new opportunities open up to advertise these classes a little bit to a wider audience. So we're not going to stop the free sessions in January. We're going to continue the free sessions every Thursday until March 19th. But they're going to be a little bit different than these sessions that I've been doing. These 6 sessions, you guys received your bases, your manuals for the free session. So these 5 manuals, I'm probably going to put them into a book, and they're going to be like the base book for the free sessions. And then what I'm going to, and actually, Michael, you're going to help me with this. What we're going to do is as soon as January 15th hits, we're going to look at photos of groups of people and how they interact with each other and what we see. We're going to look at videos. Maybe we'll look at the moon landing video. Everybody always asks about it. So we could take one Thursday, we can look at the moon landing video, and we can really analyze what's happening with the body language of those people and how they're interacting with each other and with the news crew that's asking them questions. And so we can take that all these different directions over the next few weeks, and you guys won't have to worry about paying for the classes until March 19th. Who's happy about that? Very good, very good.
It's a silent roar.
I know there was all these icons though. I like the icons. The icons make me feel happy. Icons make me feel happy.
Thank you, Agnieszka.
We missed you last week, Jill. Did you see the replay?
No, it's just been a bit crazy, but tomorrow I'm on leave until early January, so I'm not making any arrangements, and I'm going to take time to really go back over all of your classes and, in my own time in front of the stove and listen to them. So no is the short answer. So, but I will get the chance. It's just been a bit mad at the moment.
You guys are so lucky you get to sit in front of the stove and wearing a sweater. Those are the
no, I would much rather be doing what you're doing.
You mean eating avocados in a t-shirt?
Oh no, I'd love that. That would be my favorite thing.
Come on down. Come on over.
Oh no, listen, the west of Ireland is just too cold a lot of the time. But we did have a good summer this year. So
but remember those boots? I mean, I remember having really nice looking boots and a good, nice, lovely European coat, and you look so smart. And then you wear a nice hat. And, just like it looks so smart and so put together. You can never look that smart in a t-shirt, no matter how hard you try. You can in a sundress, but it's just, there's something about like a lot of clothing that gives you that.
Yeah. No, I've some of my friends that live in warm countries, like Australia, and that they say, oh, you can never, one friend in particular says her Australian husband just like doesn't it's not like a sharp dress guy in England, so no, I know, but
my husband usually just wears shorts. That's it, just shorts
all the time. No, well, I know, but I wouldn't mind having 3 or 4 months of warm weather where I know I don't have to think about how to dry the clothes or anything like that for just 3 or 4 months of the year. That would suit me,
You could set that up. You're autonomous. You can set that up. You could do it remote. 4 months of the year, you exclusively work remote for health reasons.
Yeah, I could say that to my work, but you know, I'm quite close to retirement now, so maybe if I have enough money, I can just go away for 2 or 3 months somewhere warm and rent somewhere and rent my house and stuff like that. But anyway,
Well,
yeah.
just in this class, there are at least 2 people who live in tropical countries that can help you out. I mean, the same country, but you know.
Yeah. All right. Well, you know, when I get my a bit of space in my head over the next couple of weeks. No, I'm genuinely serious. I would like to get away somewhere, even for 2 months would be fine, you know, and just to be in a different culture and eat different food and but yeah, I would like to go somewhere where I'm with like-minded people and able to do stuff because I can't do nothing. So yeah, even if it was voluntary, you know, in I don't know, anything that's along the lines of healthy things to do, you know. But you know what I wanted? I found a photograph. Are we still recording or are we
We're
not
still
recording?
recording, so you might want to
Oh,
hold off. Let's see what the rest of the
yeah,
people have to
no,
say,
yeah.
and
See
then
what
we'll
the
get back
people.
to your.
But when we saw, I want to show you a photo of me 12 years ago. I cannot believe it, the same person. But
All
whenever
right.
we stop, and I don't want to hold you too long either
Yeah,
because
no worries, no
you know
worries.
it's your time as well. But it's like two different people from what I look like today to what I look like only 12 years ago. So, okay, I'm
Yeah.
going to stop talking now. Other people want to ask you things.
All right. Anybody else has any questions before we shut off the recording? That's a complete and utter silence. All right. Well, everybody on the replay, I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys all the way up till March. And thank you very much for attending and watching these replays. And have a great day.